Keep them laws, nah, they ain't dead. Keep them laws, nah, they ain't dead. Keep them laws, nah, they ain't dead. We been scattered to them four corners, nah, they ain't dead. We been scattered to them four corners, nah, they ain't dead. We been scattered to them four corners, nah, they ain't dead. Keep them laws, nah, they ain't dead. Keep them laws, nah, they ain't dead. We been scattered to them islands, Jamaican, Hades, scattered through the South American, man, can't you see? Gotta bring it out, man, my people to sleep. All the way from England to the Arabian Sea. Hell, nah, I ain't keeping quiet, I'ma prophesy this word. Strong speak, just like Paul, Messiah coming back. It's many matches for us all, enduring to the end, let the lust drop like fall. Keep them laws, nah, they ain't dead. Keep them laws, nah, they ain't dead. Keep them laws, nah, they ain't dead. We been scattered to them four corners, nah, they ain't dead. We been scattered to them four corners, nah, they ain't dead. We been scattered to them four corners, nah, they ain't dead. Keep them laws, nah, they ain't dead. Keep them laws, nah, they ain't dead. Get this stuffing on the sin, man, I can't take it. Everything feeling crazy. Most High got me stuck in the matrix. Bringing out this world, got the milk for your babies. Don't get mad at me when your spirit can't take it. I started in your shoes, I got love for your family. Gotta try it by the spirit, bear witness to your faking. Breaking bad habits, I can be slothful or lazy. Gotta turn up with the scriptures, I can never be basic. Keep them laws,
All right, ready to pop one?
Shalom, 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 Israel. This is the Kings of Israel morning Sabbath class. Happy Passover to everyone out there, keeping the law, statutes, commandments to the best of their ability. And I'm here with Brother Andrew, the reader, and Brother Isaiah on the tech team. And we here to bring you Israel, the children of Jacob, sins. Because most of our people want to know what's really going on with us as a nation. Why are we still going through these things? Why are we still the target in society? And we always being humiliated, making fun of. It's always something on the news with black folks getting killed. And it just seems like we can never catch a break of looking like the better person of people. That's because we still have the curses on us from breaking God's commandments. So we're going to get into this, and we're going to figure out what the truth is. Give me the book of John 8:32. So let's get into the real of the world, and let's let the scriptures speak.
The book of St. John, chapter 8 and verse 32. And ye shall know the truth,
Right?
and the truth shall make you free.
So ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. So the truth that we're seeking for in this subject matter is, why do we go through what we're going through? As a nation of Israel, we need to know the truth of why we always put on TV, why we always getting made fun of, why we always the first one getting killed in any situation. What is the spirit? What is the truth of this? So let's get the truth of the Bible so we can get deeper. Give me Psalms 119, verse 142. So what is the truth of this matter? That's what we need to know as a people in a nation. Because people just living their lives day in and day out. After everything happens, still wake up in the morning and be like, hey, it's still a good day. Even though your brother and sister got killed, they making fun of us on TV. We can never catch a break, and no one cares. But you have to care, man, to get out of this situation, because it's only going to get worse and not better.
The book of Psalms, chapter 119 and verse 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness.
Right?
And thy law is the truth.
So the law is the truth. The law is the truth. And being a nation of Israel, we are lacking the law. We are lacking the truth of who we really are as a nation of people, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's why we always caught on camera or being reported with something going on with us as a nation. We on the news more than any other nation. And every time they put us on the news, it's something devastating or they're making fun of us. It's either or. So let's figure out the truth about sin when it comes to Israel. What is sin? Let's go to 1 John 3 and 4. Because these nations know these things about us. They've been studying us. They study our culture forever. They know how to disconnect us from this leadership of the Most High in Christ, who was here to redeem us. They know how to keep us away from our Father, our God. Go ahead.
The book 1 John chapter 3 and verse 4. Whosoever committed sin transgresses also the law.
You transgress also the law. That means you don't even keep the truth of the Bible. That means we don't listen to the Father in heaven. We transgress the law. That's why we're going through the things we're going through. Finish that out.
For sin is the transgression of the law.
So Israel's sin is the transgression of the law. That's the truth of the matter of why we going through what we going through. For the pastors that don't teach on what sin is, shame on them. Because why? People need to know what sin is and why we going through these things. That's why we're going through these things as a nation, as a people, because we transgressing God's law. So give me the book of Judith, chapter 5, verse 20. So let's figure out how these other nations know these things. Why they do this to us? Because why? They know that sin is the transgression of the law. They studied us. They watched us. Judah and Apocrypha. Yes, sir. So they studied us and they watched us. And they learned how, hey man, these people are great. But they too great. Like the brother was teaching on the Passover. Like the Pharaoh Ramses. He's like, man, these people are great. They big. They keep growing and growing. They in our land. I know we gave them an opportunity to live here as freemen and everything like that. But hey, if these people keep on growing and growing, eventually they're going to take us out. They're going to take us over. They too large of a nation, and they getting larger and larger. Plus they talented. So if they get with our enemies or anything else, or they don't want to take us, it's eventually going to happen because they are a strong nation. We have to do something with these people. You got it, bro?
That's 5 and 20.
Yes, sir.
The book of Judith, chapter 5 and verse 20, and the Apocrypha. Now, therefore, my Lord and Governor,
right?
If there be any error against this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin. And let us go up, and we shall overcome them.
He said, and let us go up and overtake them. So it lets you know right there, the other nations know. They study Israel. Because why? We are the greatest nation on earth. We are untouched if we follow the commandments of God. He say, if they be any error is sin. If there be any sin in these people, Lord, he said, let us go and overtake them. We can win. We got to find some type of sin. We got to find something, figure out what their laws are, and let's flip it. Let's make something enjoyable into them so they can sin against their God. Jump down to verse 21.
Verse 21. But if there be no iniquity,
no sin
in their nation,
right?
Let my Lord now pass by.
He said, if they be no sin in their nation, he said, let you just keep walking, bro. He said, don't mess with them people. Go ahead.
lest their Lord defend them.
He said, lest their Lord defend them. Not themselves, not us picking up guns and weapons and everything, defending ourselves against these people. He said, their Lord defend them. Go ahead.
And their God before them,
And the Most High before us,
and we become a reproach before all the world.
he said, and we become a reproach before all the world, not just to them. He said, man, we gonna be put in the books like the Egyptians. He said, man, they will lay us out if they not caught in sin. The Most High God will give them the strength to overtake us no matter what. So let's figure out some things that they had to learn about us to put us in sin. Let's go to the book of Exodus chapter 20, and we're going to start at 1. So they had to go to the basics of our commandments to figure out what can we do to put these brothers and sisters in sin. What is the covenant they have with the Most High God to put them in sin, to overtake them? We have to figure that out. Go ahead.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 1. And God speak all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God,
Right.
which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
So he say, I am your Lord, that guy that brought you out of the land of Egypt, like we just speaking about.
Out of the house of bondage.
Out of the house of bondage, slavery, the Passover. That's what we celebrate right now. All praise to the Most High that he did that for us. Thank you. Go ahead.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
He said, there shall not have no other gods before him. So that's one thing they learned. Hey, they got the Most High. We gotta come up with something and make our gods more enjoyable than their gods. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image.
Any graven images, anything that you bow down to, you worship. Go ahead.
Or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above. Or that is in the earth beneath.
Right.
Or that is in the waters under the earth.
So he said we shouldn't be making images of anything of his creations and bowing down to them, worshiping the creations over him. We shouldn't be making these idols and putting them over the Most High, making them gods. But the other nations knew this and they studied our commandments. They say, so you know what? We gotta find certain images. We gotta let's make a horoscope. Let's give them symbols out of the horoscope and make it their God, so they can feel like their God according to the stars and the moon and all this and all that. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them.
Right.
For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God.
He said, I am a jealous God. So the nations knew this. When they knew they could set up certain things and put it in our face, make it enjoyable, the Most High will get jealous. Because why? We'll turn our back on them. Go ahead.
Visiting the iniquity of the father upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
He said he gonna visit us from generation to generation to generation of the people that hate him. And how do we hate him? Why would we hate him? Because why are you turning your back on the Most High God who saved you out of captivity? And all he did was give us commandments. Don't put no one before me. Have nothing before me, because why? I did so many things for you. I made you the most strongest and wisest people on the earth. But you turning your back on me. You're turning your back on me. You hate me. Go ahead.
And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me. And keep my commandments.
And he said he's showing mercy unto the thousands that love him and keep his commandments. That's love to him. Keeping his commandments. Love is not being soft and ooey gooey like the churches and everybody try to do. Love is keeping his commandments. That's what he loves, and that's what he wants from you. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. For the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain.
So he say he don't take his name in vain. An example of taking his name in vain is saying, he gave me a word today to give to you. No, we don't prophesy like that. We prophesy what's going to happen in these scriptures, and we prophesy on what the scriptures say, not how I feel, not what I seen, because the Most High God say, if it comes not to pass, it is not of him. It has to come to pass for you to say you had a vision of the Most High God. Other than that, you coming up with your own assumptions based upon whatever happened in that case. Don't make vain sayings of the Most High. Don't come up to people saying, oh, but the scripture is this. But you're not reading the scripture. You're going off your own thoughts. That's vain against the Most High. You coming up with your own opinions when the scripture said otherwise. Like I remember this one story. Someone in my family, they was trying to quit smoking cigarettes, but they was real close to the pastor. So while they on the phone with the pastor, they smoking cigarette. And they talking about the pastor said, hey man, you over there smoking right now? And they said they got choked up on the phone. They're like, what? Yeah, how you know? He said, because the Lord giving me a vision right now, and I'm seeing smoke going out your window. And I was like, come on, man, look, listen to this. Now, everybody been around smokers all their life. When you on the phone with somebody and they smoking, you can hear them smoking. You can hear a person, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, yeah, it's been a good day, this and that, whether it's weed, tobacco, anything. You can hear when people are smoking on the phone. You can tell by how they take in and exhale. You can hear all that. You can hear it all, man. It ain't no vision of somebody, you seeing smoke coming out the window when they trying to start smoking. You can hear people smoking on the phone, man. That's obvious. Go to the next verse, brother.
Verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
Remember the Sabbath day, because today is the Lord's Sabbath day in the Passover. Go ahead.
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
The seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. And how do we know today is the Sabbath day? When you go to your calendar, Sunday is the first day. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Saturday is the seventh day. Keep it holy. Go ahead.
In it thou shalt not do any work.
Right? We shouldn't be working, but we still in captivity. So if you have to work, go to work and feed your family. Go ahead.
Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter.
Right?
Thy manservant, nor thy maidservant.
Because back in the day, we had people working for us. So when we rested on the Sabbath day, they should be resting on the Sabbath day. Go ahead.
Nor thy cattle. Nor thy stranger that is within thy gate.
So your animals shouldn't be working no more. They shouldn't be plowing the field or nothing like that. And whoever you had staying with you inside your home or your area, they shouldn't be working. Go ahead.
For in the 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth.
Right.
And sea and all that is, and rested the seventh day.
So the Lord made all these things in 6 days, and he even rested on the seventh day. He said, because I rest, you should rest. Go ahead.
Wherefore the Lord blessed the seventh day and hallowed it.
And he made it holy. He stamped it. This is going to be the rest day for my people in the world. Go ahead.
Honor thy father and thy mother.
And see, the nations know that. He say, hey, according to the commandments, they have to honor their mother, father, or whoever is ahead of them that's raising them. He said, but we got to flip that too. We got to make these kids see that following their parents is not the right thing. So they find stuff for the young kids, get in the streets, or the little girls to dress certain ways, to sneak around. They not honor their mother and their father, because if they would be acting like how their father and mother act if the father and mother is keeping the commandments. And if your father and mother is not keeping the commandments and you in the truth, still honor your father and mother. Because guess what? You still in a household, or they still your parents. You still have to do that thing. No matter how much the devil get put on your parents, you still have to honor them. Go ahead.
That thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee.
Right? So you can be here longer. That's blessings. You receiving blessings by honoring your father and your mother. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not kill.
Thou shalt not kill. The nations know this. So what do they promote for us now in our communities, for the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans? Right now, we got a whole lot of shoot 'em up music. You know what I'm saying? I used to be in music. So most of my artists and everyone around me, it's a lot of violence getting promoted in music. Because why? That's what we live in. We live in these hoods out here. We live in these bad parts in the cities. So yes, we into drugs, money, the women and everything like that. Brothers getting killed over messing with each other, women, or being jealous of each other, of money or whatever. Family setting each other up. It's crazy out here. He said, thou shalt not kill. So you know what? They put us against each other. Use a music or whatever else. Key factor to turn us away from our God. And we kill each other by our thoughts. Let's say I hate my brother. You know what I'm saying? And I see him out there in a road and a truck is coming by. Instead of having compassion for my brother, even though we are at odds with each other, I should be like, hey bro, get out the road. But you know what I'm saying? I see this man and I got hatred in my heart and a truck coming. Instead of saying get out the road, I'm gonna sit back and say, bye nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's hatred, man. You know what I'm saying? You killing your brother because why? You could have saved him. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Thou shalt not commit adultery. Israel has a sex problem. We know that. You know what I'm saying? It been throughout the whole Bible. Like he said with the Pharaoh. When the Pharaoh tried to put us in oppression so much, he was like, man, let's oppress these people so bad that they don't want to do nothing. The Most High said, you oppress them so much, they even made more kids. So we making more kids when we get oppressed. You know what I'm saying? We going around sleeping with anything, still making kids. Israel has a sex problem. We know that. So he said, hey, get married to your woman and keep that one woman. Don't commit adultery. Don't be covetous of other women. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not steal.
We shouldn't be stealing from each other. We shouldn't be stealing at all. Work for what you need for. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor.
I shouldn't be lying on my neighbor. I shouldn't be lying on my brother. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife.
Right. I shouldn't want what my neighbor has. Maybe that's not meant for me. It's give your neighbor all praise. Hey man, that's nice right there. That's cool. Hey, never look at another man's wife where you want to always talk to his wife and never talk to him. That's coveting. That's being lustful. That's adultery. Go ahead.
Nor his manservant. Nor his maidservant.
Right. So you be like, boy, he got some hard workers over there, man. Hey, I need to probably try to pay them more so they can come over here. No, don't do that. Go ahead.
Nor his ox. Nor his ass.
Don't try to get his animals. His animals may be stronger than yours. Don't be trying to steal his horse and his donkey because yours ain't all that good. Go ahead.
Nor anything that is thy neighbor's.
Nor anything that is your neighbor's. Don't take anything that's of your brother's or sister's household. See, and these commandments right here, these simple laws right here that he gave us, guess what? The other nations studied them. They looked at them. They said, hey man, they shouldn't put no other God before people. They shouldn't hate each other, kill each other. Oh, they definitely don't even commit adultery. They the biggest thing they can't do is defile the Sabbath day. They can't defile the Sabbath day. So you know what? We gonna make the Sabbath day the most jumping day out of the whole week. We're gonna do all the parties. We're gonna make sure it's all type of feasts going on. We're gonna do everything on a Saturday. We're gonna do everything on a Saturday to make them defile the Sabbath day. You know what I'm saying? So when the nations did this, guess what? We wanted to be like them. Give me Psalms 106, verse 35. Because when we see these things, we like, oh man, we don't never get to do none of that. That stuff look fun. Oh, they make it sound fun. Oh, I know the Most High told me don't do it. But guess what, man? Let me just try it one time. Let me try it one time. Start at 35.
The book of Psalms, chapter 106 and verse 35. But were mingled among the heathen and learned their works.
So these times we was mingled around the heathens. Heathens mean non-Israelites. We was around these nations. They learned our commandments. And we learned and mingled around it because the Most High, when we used to take certain areas over, he used to be like, destroy the whole people. Destroy everything. Because if not, their ways, you're going to look at their ways compared to what I told you to do, and you're going to want to do what they do. You're going to want to do what these people do because why? They're going to make it look enjoyable. And guess what? What do you say? Start at verse over.
But were mingled among the heathen and learned their works.
And we learned their works. We wanted to do what these people are doing because why? We let them mingle with us. We keeping the Sabbath day, but they out there trying to cook to the side. We over there smelling what they got going on. We like, well, that thing smell good over there. I know I shouldn't be eating it, but get well, I'm gonna go over and get a little taste real quick. Or they over there celebrating their little holidays and their birthday. We like, we don't do none of that. Oh, that look fun. We learning their ways as they mingle with us. Go ahead.
And they served their idols,
right,
which were a snare unto them.
And we served their idols, which was a trap unto us. We was trapping ourselves by mingling with these people and learning their ways of life instead of making them follow the commandments of God. Go ahead.
Yea, they sacrificed their sons and daughters unto devils.
We put our sons and daughters in a position where they learning the works of the devils, and then, like the other nations was, some of them was actually sacrificing their kids unto the idols of the devils. And guess what? We follow them. We follow their ways. We follow how their supposedly God works. Instead of following our Father. Our Father didn't want us to do that to our kids. Our Father wanted our kids to be strong men and strong women according to the commandments. Now, let's get deeper into it because these people learn our ways and everything like this and that. So we want to know why we still oppressed. Why are we going through these? Because why? I just showed you how we sin. How the other nations learned that we should keep the commandments, but guess what? They figured out how to flip it on us to make everything seem enjoyable to go their way instead of the Most High way. So let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 1 and 1. So we can get a little deeper into these curses.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
These be the words which Moses speak unto all Israel on this side Jordan in the wilderness.
So Moses is speaking to all Israel on the side of Jordan coming out of Egypt. So keep it in context. He's speaking to Israel, no one else. Let's go to Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
He said he's speaking to Israel. Don't forget what it said in Deuteronomy 1:1. He said, you are a holy people unto the Lord thou God. Go ahead.
The Lord thy God had chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
He said you are a holy people and you are chosen special people unto himself. And holy means separate. We're going to get into that. Holy means separate. You are a separate people until himself. Go ahead.
Above.
What?
Above.
Above. Go ahead.
All people that are upon the face of the earth.
Man, he said you are a special people above everyone on the face of the earth. He say above everyone on the face of the earth. So let's get into holy, because people think everybody can be holy, but holy means separation. We are a separate people from them. Give me Numbers 6 and 5 first. Let me get Numbers 6 and 5. Let's get into what holy means, so we can prove that it means to be separate.
The book of Numbers, chapter 6 and verse 5. All the days of the vows of his separation, there shall no razor come upon his head.
Right.
Until the days be fulfilled. In the which he separated himself unto the Lord, he shall be holy.
He shall be what?
He shall be holy.
So this is talking about a Nazarite. He say, all the days of the vow of his separation, there shall no razor cometh upon his head, because they used to grow their hair out in locks, braids, until the days be fulfilled in which he separated himself unto the Lord, that he shall be what?
Holy.
Holy. He separate himself from everyone else to be holy. To be holy with the Most High God, you have to be separate from the sin of the world. Now give me Hebrews 7 and 6. Let's get it in the New Testament, because somebody be like, hey man, that's the Old Testament. That ain't what that means. No, let's get it in the New Testament. Let's see what it says in the New Testament.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 7 and verse 6. But he whose descent is not counted from them received tithes of Abraham, and blessed him that had the promises.
Oh, I'm sorry, brother. Give me 26. I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 7 and verse 26. For such an high priest became us.
So he say, in such high priest became us, the nation of Israel, the men that's out here doing the work. We are the new high priest.
Who is holy.
Who is what?
Who is holy. Harmless.
Right.
Undefiled. Separate.
What?
Separate.
Go ahead.
From sinners.
Go ahead.
And made higher than the heavens.
So he said the new high priest became us, who is holy, harmless, undefiled, separate from sinners. To be holy, you have to be separate from sinners. That's what the nation of Israel is supposed to be. And let's get into it. Give me 1 Peter 2 and 9 now. Because he said we are a chosen nation. What are we chosen for? We have to be separate, and we just prove that it's holy. We have to be separate from the sinners of the world.
The book,
1 Peter 2 and 9.
The book 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation.
He said, what he said in Deuteronomy? He said, you are a chosen people. Go ahead.
A royal priesthood.
Of royal priesthood. In Hebrews, it just said we are high priests. Go ahead.
and holy nation.
A holy nation. We just proved that holy is separate. We are a separate nation.
A peculiar people. That ye should show forth the praises of him who had called you out of darkness.
Who have called you out of sin. Called you out of darkness. Go ahead.
Into his marvelous light.
Into the marvelous light. The light is what? The laws, statutes, and commandments. He pulled us out of darkness. He separated us out of sinners. That is holy. To be holy, you have to be separate of the sinners. That's why we in sin. Because why? A lot of our people don't want to be separate with these heathens. They hear the truth, knowing what they got to do, but guess what? They don't want to be separate. They want to be in mingle with them. They want to learn their words. They want to learn how everything is going. But the Most High said, no, I made you a separate people compared to these people. They making you sinners. Following their ways, want to do what you want to do. You are becoming a sinner because you don't want to be separate like I told you. You are the priest of the world. You are the strong men and women that the whole world is supposed to be following. But now we don't want to be separate. We want to be like them. We want to follow their ways. No, the Most High said, be separate, be holy. Now give me the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 25, verse 1. So since you don't want to be separate, you don't want to be holy, let's get into why we are going through these things.
The book, Deuteronomy, chapter 25 and verse 1. If there be a controversy between man...
Oh, no, 28 and 1. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro.
Sorry. The book Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou should hearken diligently...
If you listen diligently...
unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Right? And his voice right now is the scriptures. It's not my voice. It's not Brother Andrew's voice. It's the scriptures. Go ahead.
To observe and to do all his commandments.
Do all his commandments. Not some, but all. Go ahead.
Which I command thee this day.
That he commanded us this day. Every time you hear them commandments coming out, whether you're at your job, you see them on a corner, or you hear it on YouTube, and you hear these commandments, he said, this day, it's that day that you hear his commandments on what you're supposed to do. Go ahead.
That the Lord thy God would set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
He said, if you do these things, like he said in Deuteronomy 7 and 6, I already put you above everyone. He said, you will still be on high above all nations on the earth. Now that is the blessing of keeping his commandments as a nation, not an individual, but as a nation of people, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. As a nation of people, we will be on top. But now, let's go to Deuteronomy 28:15. Because guess what? We didn't do these things. We kept slipping and falling. So now what?
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass.
But it shall come to pass, means it's going to happen.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments.
Right, to do all of them.
And his statute.
And the statute that come with the commandments.
Which I command thee this day. That all these curses.
That all these what?
All these curses.
All these curses for not wanting to be separate from the heathens and the other nations who's telling us to sin against our God. Because why? They studied our commandments. They studied our book. They studied how they can grab us and catch our attention on their ways instead of ours. Because Israel has a short attention span. When we see something nice and good, instead of focusing on what we're doing right here, we look across the way. Instead of focusing on the Most High, we're going to look across the way and look at everybody else. You be like, man, they look nice and fun. We're going to do that. Go ahead.
shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So he says, since you want to ponder on what they have instead of what I gave you, he said these curses is going to overtake you and come over you and your generation. Go to 16.
Verse 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field.
Like I mentioned earlier, he said, cursed shall you be in the city. Cursed shall you be in this field. When you live in these, when you look at the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, when we look around, man, we live in the worst parts of the city. We live where there's a lot of gang violence, where there's somebody always in the middle of the street doing something. We see the brothers out there slanging, making a lot of money. Instead of thinking, we can go to work, build our credit up, and do whatever the right way and be safe. We think the streets is the way. We think anything Esau show us making millions of dollars is the way. And guess what? For you to make these millions of dollars, you have to go against your own people. You can't be for your people and make it. You have to go against your people in some type of way. We live in these worst parts of the city. And then he say, curse shall you be in the field. Field can go into slavery and at your job. Because guess what? The black man and the black woman, they get hard times at work. We don't get the quick promotions like the other nations do at the job. We don't get those quick promotions of, hey man, they've been working hard and everything today. We don't get that, man. We get, oh yeah, let me use him for this and that. And they use you for years and months if you allow it to. Because why? You oppressed. You would never get nowhere because you going to be oppressed. And as soon as somebody come through that door of the other nations, they work 3-4 months, they already making damn salary. They at the top of the damn office. And you've been working here 2-3 years, but this person just came in 4-6 months ago. Don't make no sense, man. Hey, give me one of those pictures of working in the field, bro. Because this happened to our people. This happened to us. He said, cursed shall I be in the field. And we got some images and some videos in this lesson that's going to bring it to you. So you can see, because Israel is a nation of sin. We have to see things, man. We can hear people talk about it and all this and all that. But we the type of nation, we got to see it. We got to feel it. You know what I'm saying? We just can't listen to nobody. We got to see it. So repeat that verse again, Brother Andrew. 16.
Verse 16. Cursed should thou be in the city, and cursed should thou be in the field.
And go to the next one real quick. Next verse while you get it.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 17. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store.
And cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. So that goes into how we can get businesses, how we can we do have some Israelite brothers and sisters that are successful in certain ways in life. But guess what? They won't go to the top. Like we can get a restaurant. We'll get a restaurant locally. We'll get a restaurant in our little section. But we can't go big like McDonald's. We can't go big like Walmart. We can't get these corporation deals unless you do what? Follow what the other nation tell us to do. We have to bow down to their needs instead of them saying, hey man, y'all have a good idea. Hey, I like the way this tastes. You know what? We can make millions of dollars with you. But instead of doing that, they be like, no, you know what? I like this and that, but to make this go nationwide, let me put some preservatives inside your food so we can freeze it up and sell it nationwide. Instead of all that healthy stuff that you put in your food to help people and make it taste good, no, they want to add in extra stuff to make your food last longer, that taste a certain way, and basically low-key poisonous. Because all food that we have, man, it's not all good food. You know what I'm saying? It tastes good, but it's a lot of stuff in this food, man, that ain't right. So for you to be part of these corporations, you have to go through what they want you to go through instead of having your plan and pushing how you want to do things. No, they gonna add a twist to it, and you got to do it their way. You know what I'm saying? You got it, brother? So go back to 16 again, brother.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field.
So cursed shall y'all be in the city, and cursed shall y'all be in the field. Like you can see this right here. You got our brothers and sisters out there, they out in the field. This happened to the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. This didn't happen to no one but us. You know what I'm saying? So we showing you how this is a prophecy of the Bible. This actually came to pass. This actually came. And it's still here because you cursed at your jobs. You know what I'm saying? You wonder why you're not getting treated right. You're wondering why you can't get elevated at the job. It's because you cursed as a people. You got to work 10 times harder than the other nations. When I say other nations, that's the Chinese, that's the Arabs, that's the Africans, because we're not Africans, we are Israelites. It's the white folks, the Caucasian, it's everybody else. Everybody is getting elevated but the nation of Israel. And for us to get elevated, guess what? We got to kiss a lot of tail, because at my job, you can't speak your mind as a black man and a black woman. Because guess what? You're not getting no promotion. You're not no yes man. I done seen plenty of black women that are empowered at the job because they are. They put them over the black man. A lot of them got that mouth. And guess what? They speak their mind. And I seen a lot of them get demoted, pushed out the way, and get a white man put in their position. All the black men at the job, they got a little rank to them. They don't open their damn mouth about nothing. They work, they gonna make sure they do what that man say or what the boss say, and they gonna keep it pushing. But that black woman gonna speak her mind, but that black man, he will not do it at all. So now let's jump down to verse 28.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness.
He said he gonna smite us with madness. Madness can go into anything. It can go into anything with drugs or how we perceive things. We not understanding what's going on. That's madness, because why? We not following the commandments of God. Go ahead.
And blindness.
And blindness. We don't know what's going on. We blind to the fact of we are being led astray onto another path. Go ahead.
And astonishment of heart.
And astonishment of heart. It's like, wow, boy. These people are amazing. No matter what we put them through, man, it's always entertainment with them. No matter if it's making fun of us or someone getting killed. Get verse 29. Let's read 29.
Verse 29. And thou shalt grope at noonday.
You shall grope at noonday. Go ahead.
As the blind gropeth in darkness.
So what does that mean? The blind groping in darkness. When a blind man walk, he can't see. He tapping, he touching everything, he trying to figure out what's going on. But he said, you're going to do this in noonday as a blind man. You seeing where you're going, but guess what? You still lost. You don't know where you're going, where you're coming. You don't know nothing. Go ahead.
And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways.
You shall not prosper in your ways. That means what? You won't be able to elevate like I was going into. You trying to get stuff done, but it's taking you harder times. You got to go through so much just to prosper. Go ahead.
And thou shalt be only oppressed.
Right.
And shall spoiled evermore.
You're going to be oppressed and spoiled evermore. For you getting oppressed for the things that's going on. And spoiled. You spoiled with these things of the world instead of the Most High. These things of the world is making you rotten. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And no man shall save thee.
No man shall save you, because this is going to be a curse on you. Only person that can save you is Christ coming back to the commandments, repenting. Hey, get that Will Smith video. And because, start back at 28, so we can understand why we're bringing out this video.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness.
So the Lord gonna smite us with madness, because why? We're not keeping the commandments. We don't know what's going on. Go ahead.
And blindness.
And blindness to the fact that we're being led astray. What? For money, fame, for even situations around here trying to get a better position at the job. We sit here looking at our people, telling on them or doing whatever. That's your brother or sister, man. They might be struggling. You trying to get them. All right, go ahead.
Who's got the hardest job tonight? Harvey is goddamn, and his wife are both nominated. Now, if she loses, he can't win. He is praying that Will Smith wins. Like, please, Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
Hey, Paul. Now we see that Will Smith is laughing at the joke. He enjoying it. He enjoying it. Because why? Him and Chris Rock, they friends. They supposedly be friends. They know each other. They've been in this industry a long time with each other. Look how Will Smith laughing. He enjoying the night. That was funny to him. He even liked it. And look how him and his wife is separated. They separated. They not even close to each other like a husband and wife. They sitting across from each other. You know what I'm saying? That don't look like a good relationship right there. Because no wife and husband sit across from each other and they've been together that long. Usually they still beside each other. But look, Will Smith enjoying the night. Look at Jada's face. She can't stand him. She can't stand that nigga up there. She got hatred in her heart for that brother up there right now. Go ahead, play it.
That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Oh, Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of it.
Take my name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Now you see, he was enjoying the night. The camera pans back and forth. So you know what I'm saying? When they in the room for everybody to see everything, they put the camera on each other's face. You know what I'm saying? Especially when they make jokes about each other or whatever. So everybody in the room can see everybody laughing and having fun. Will Smith was having fun at the beginning. But when that camera left, Jada looked at Will Smith, probably gave him that evil eye look that black women give men. And now he what? He had to change his whole aura. He had to go up there and embarrass his friend and smack the taste out of his mouth. Because why? He said something about his wife. You know what I'm saying? That he thought was funny as well. But guess what? She didn't think it was funny. My brother's smitten with madness, because guess what? He got to do what Jada says instead of Jada doing what he said, because he's the husband and she's the wife. You know what I'm saying? All these people been around each other for years and years, but guess what? He's smitten with madness, man, and that's astonishment. That was an amazement that happened on that Oscar day. Because that wouldn't usually happen, and look, it's happening with the black folks. He just joked about the white folks and him and his wife. So when it came to Jada and Will, now they want to get offended when the jokes come to them. When the black woman got offended, he got to step up and do whatever, knowing they all comedians. They don't mean that stuff in heart. You know what I'm saying? And then Will, what he do? He going through the little thing where she cheated on. She cheated on with a young man. He cried on national TV. She basically told the man she didn't love him like that no more. Now, being a husband, why in the hell would I defend you when you did all this to me? You told me you'd rather have that man than me, basically. You told me you don't love me like that, basically. Now, why should I get up and smack one of my good friends because you got offended? My brother is smitten with madness and blindness. He don't know if he coming or going. Because right after this, he cried like a baby on that damn stage. My brother is effeminate. A woman rules over him. and he don't know how to live life right now. He don't know how to live life. Go ahead and continue that out real quick.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay? So I can go, okay.
Look how embarrassed he is.
That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
All right, you stop.
Okay.
Hey, why you can go ahead and plug some of the videos from the other ones in there?
So you see how embarrassed that brother was. That brother was embarrassed. He didn't know what to do in that situation. Like, man, this man just came up here and smacked the taste out my mouth.
In shock.
And he was in shock. He didn't know what to do. He was like, damn. He said, this ain't a movie set. He got the taste smacked out of his mouth, man. That was crazy. And, give me verse 32.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fill with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand.
So when we broke these commandments, when we wanted to live like these heathens, he said, you are gonna, say that verse over again, brother? I'm sorry.
Thy sons and thy daughters,
right,
shall be given unto another people.
So he says, since you want to follow these other nations, since you want to live like the heathens, since you want to not follow my commandments, he say, in this day, when I curse you, your sons and daughters will be given to other people. This happened in slavery. This happened in fast forward to this day today. If our brothers and sisters don't meet the standards of the government of how you should raise a child or how they should be looking and acting at school, DSS will visit you. They will visit you. And guess what? If you don't meet DSS standards, they will take your child. It's to the point now where some people will figure out if you are whooping your child, not beating them, but whooping them, DSS still can't get involved and come take your child because you chastising your child. But according to the Bible says chastise the child. That's how you show love, because love is what? Correction. You showing correction in your household. You showing your child what to do and not to do. But today, DSS can't take your kids because what? You have no might. And the most kids that get taken today is the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Like our Hispanic brothers and sisters, they still going through it. When they had that chicken farm, I can't think if it was in Texas or somewhere, but ISIS went to the chicken farm and took all the Hispanics to jail. I mean, all of them. They took every single last one of them. The plant basically damn near got shut down. And they took their kids, because the kids was born in the United States. So the kids are legal, but their parents are not. They took the kids and put them in cages, man. Their sons and daughters was taken away from them. They couldn't even get with their other family members. This only happened to the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's today. How they still caged up the Hispanics in certain areas. And some of them might still be caged up in these camps. You know what I'm saying? This is a real curse. And back in the day, they did what? They used to breed us, what they call us, put us with a strong woman, a strong black man, make babies, and guess what? Sold that strong baby to someone else. And then they sell your mom and your daddy to other people so they can make stronger babies with the other stronger slaves in the plantation. You know, I hate to say this, man, but it's like they were using us as people would do today as breeding dogs. People would take two good-looking dogs, and make some nice puppies out of them. And that's what they do with us, and that's what they did with us. And they used to sell our kids doing that, man. Finish that scripture out.
And thy eyes shall look and fill with longing for them all the day long.
And your eyes will fill with longing for them all day long. You're going to be crying. You're going to be sad. You're not going to know what to do. Go ahead.
And there shall be no might in thy hand.
And there's not going to be any might in your hand. You're not going to be able to save your own family in these times. You're not going to be able to save them. That is a curse on the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. It's sad. But that's what happened when we broke the commandments. When we wanted to listen to the heathens and fall into sin. That's what happened to us, man. It's sad. Now give me verse 34.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 34. So that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes.
You're going to be mad at what you see in life. Go ahead.
Which thou shalt see.
You're going to be mad at everything that Israel go through. You're going to be mad at the killings. You're going to be mad at how people act on television. You're going to be mad at what you see at work. Like I say, the promotions. You've been working your tail off, but this person get that so quick of the other nation. You're going to be mad at how they always want to say something about you, but they don't say nothing about other people. You're going to be mad at these things, man, because why? It's going to be a curse on you. We done had, what's that, 1, 2, 3. We had 4 deaths of people that was 14 and younger. 14 and younger. These 4 deaths have been on national news in 1 week. In 1 week. You know what I'm saying? The Most High said, and that's another way you can take your kids, man. You can take your kids by death. And you know what I'm saying? These things that are happening to the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. This week, starting from last week as well, I should say, we done had 4 deaths of young black kids. 4 deaths of young black kids, man. And that's mad in the eyes, and it's very sad because what? Either these brothers and sisters heard the commandments, or their parents heard the commandments. And the Most High God, He gonna punish us through our kids instead of us. You know what I'm saying? It's whether He want to do it or not. Go ahead. Slide that over. So it's sad out here, man. We got to tighten up.
The end of the work week turns tragic as 2 children, ages 12 and 14, are shot dead in downtown St. Louis.
Police are investigating these deaths as a murder-suicide. Fox News' Dan Gray is live with this shocking case. Dan.
Yeah, an unthinkable tragedy, Jasmine and Mike. A lot of people shaking their heads, just asking a lot of questions. We're along Spruce Street between 10th and 11th in downtown St. Louis. Behind me, the Couple Station apartment building. That is where the shooting took place.
Police say they found the children in an apartment shortly after 2 o'clock in the morning. They were pronounced dead at the scene.
Where did they get the guns from? And why would they do that, you know?
The boy, 14, the girl, 12. Their names have not been released. Police did identify the girl as the suspect, meaning she pulled the trigger, killing the boy, then herself. Some people who work across the street from the Couple Station apartment building were left shaking their heads after learning of the shooting.
I mean, it's really sad to hear something like this, and it seems a little out of the ordinary.
Hey, stop.
You know, you don't.
I want to get something like that. Go back on her face a little bit. At the beginning when she's about to talk. Alright, so I'm going to give you the backstory of this right here real quick. So, I think St. Louis, this happened in St. Louis, this happened earlier this week. A 12-year-old girl and a 14-year-old boy, they was having a party somewhere in St. Louis in the apartments or whatever. Young black kids, they ain't got the video up no more. I think they took the video down. But the young girl was on, I think, live, it was either Facebook Live or something like that. And she had a pistol, and it had a drum at the bottom. A drum is like a 50-round clip, and had it at the bottom of the gun. So they was in the bathroom, they was talking with each other, you know, playing with the gun or whatever. 9 times out of 10, the kid, if they had a party like that with guns and stuff like that, man, they probably drinking and smoking, man. Young kids, man, real young kids. And the little girl was playing with the gun, talking to the man, basically saying how, I guess they was playing, saying how she would shoot him. And you know, I thought they probably was joking, but she put the gun to his head and probably act like she was gonna pull the trigger. But you know, certain guns have a hair trigger. So a hair trigger gun is you can just touch the trigger and it just goes off. You ain't gotta squeeze it. You can just touch it. Shot the young boy in the head. The gun was so powerful it failed. She trying to scramble for the gun, but when she picked it up, she shot herself in the head as well. You know what I'm saying? 2 young black kids with a big gun. So, you know, and you hear the people in the party screaming they found the kids or whatever. So now you got these people out here trying to figure out what's going on, who gun it was. And now you got this Edomite that's about to speak. But I want y'all to look at her face when she first is about to speak about it. Because if it was so tragic, she wouldn't be trying to smile, man. This stuff to them be funny. This stuff to them be entertainment, man, because they like, here we go again. Young black kids with guns. It'll never stop. You know what I'm saying? Play that real quick so they can see this woman's face.
I mean, it's really sad to hear something like
Look at
this.
the smile she got on her face. She's smiling while she's talking a little bit. Go ahead.
It seems a little out of the ordinary.
And look, she had to fix herself. She had to fix herself. She had a, oh, I can't smile. She had a little grin. You talking about it's tragic, but she had a little smile on her face. They see this stuff as funny, man. It's entertainment to them. And this is terrible, man. They don't care for us.
Girls are the devil.
Go ahead, finish it out. Now let's go to the next one real quick. Let's go to, that one right there. Now everybody heard about this one, man. It's the
3 minutes now.
It's the young boy in Orlando who was on a ride. The young dude was huge, man, 6'5", about 300-400 pounds. And the ride didn't lock when he was supposed to go up and down, coming down the same vibes, but now it was a drop ride. So, you know, man, looking at this is something that's sad and sad and tragic, man, because now if that was a young little white boy that big, they would have probably told him he couldn't ride. Or they would have told him anything. But you know what? They still let my young brother get on this ride and get on it, man. Go ahead.
Now, after the 6 o'clock hour, Fox 35 investigates the new cell phone video that shows the moments before a 14-year-old died after falling from a ride at Icon Park. All right, so take a look here behind me. This side angle shows Tyree Sampson in his seat on the free fall drop tower. You can see in these videos how much higher Sampson's harness is compared to the other rider.
So y'all can see how big this young brother is, man. He's a big dude, man. To be 14 years old, this little dude is 14. He's huge, man. He's a big guy. So you know what I'm saying? Usually, you know, when you're on rides, it's not supposed to clamp necessarily right there on your chest. It's supposed to clamp like kind of in your lap. You know what I'm saying? The seat's supposed to clamp like in your lap a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But he's so big, it's on his chest. It's not locked like it's supposed to. It's a, matter of fact, let me say this. It's a final lock that clamps close to your legs. Now, here, it probably had a click or two, but I remember when I was riding the rides, it's at least 4 clicks, and it's a final click where it's really not going to move no more. And that is not the final click. It's still on his chest. Go ahead.
The state's accident report says the ride was coming down the tower, and when the magnets engaged, Sampson fell out of his seat, but the harness was still in a down and locked position when that ride stopped. Fox 35 showed the videos to 2 different experts, and their opinions were similar.
I see a patron in an amusement ride, and that over-the-shoulder restraint system is not properly affixed.
It should have been a closed circuit.
Go back real quick and get everybody else right there and pause it with them. You know, you can see, that's what I'm saying. You see how it's locked in everybody's lap? All the seats is locked in everybody's lap. That's how the ride's supposed to be. but his is above, it's on his chest and his shoulders. It is not safely locked. And they knew that. They all can see that how that thing is not safely locked, man. Now I'm telling you, if that was another nation or someone else, a young white boy or something, they would have told him to get off. They would have told, hey man, you shouldn't be on this ride. You know what I'm saying? You kind of a big, hefty dude. You got to ride something else probably. And being his size, shoot, he probably couldn't ride nothing. He probably thought that's probably his first ride of the night. I'm telling you. Because when brothers try to get on roller coasters and anything else at that size, you can't fit. You know what I'm saying? That's probably his first ride of the night. Go ahead.
Closed circuit, if you will. So we're coming all the way down over the shoulders, containing the person and/or resting in their lap at the seat pan.
Well, Fox 25 went through the operators.
That's something to deal with. You can, click that. I think that's the one with the pictures too. So this is something that just happened in our backyard because we located in South Carolina. So this happened in Greenville, South Carolina. Mr. Andrew, you read that real quick?
Greenville County School focused on return for student after Tanglewood Middle School shooting.
Okay, go down for me, brother. Read that right there.
It was a quiet Friday morning at Tanglewood Middle School. Less than 24 hours after a 12-year-old student was killed in a fatal shooting that took place at the school. The parking lot slowly full as staff showed up for their shift and parents dropped their children off for an optional day.
So they didn't even have to go to school that day, I don't think. Go down. That'd be it. Go back out so we can see this picture real quick. Here's the backspace. Yeah, right there. Click that. So this was a young brother, man. Look at this young dude. I think he was 12 years old. I think this young brother was 12 years old. And another, I'm not sure, but another student came in and shot him and shot another student. And the other one's critical condition, but he is the one that passed away. Yeah, you just leave it right there. And he is the one that passed away. Now listen, this all happened within a week. The St. Louis shooting, his shooting, and the young brother down off the ride. The Most High, man, he is judging our people, man. And no, we're not in these areas, but guess what, man? There's a lot of brothers and sisters out here teaching these commandments day in and day out, man. And when we reject the laws of God, the Most High will punish us how he seems fit. And this is before the week of the Passover. And today is the Passover, man. So times is about to get rough and hard for not listening to the Most High. And to prove that the Most High is in the midst of this, give me Deuteronomy, what is it, 32, 39? Deuteronomy 32, 39.
32.
Yeah, 39.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 39. See now that I, even I, am he. And there is no God with me.
So the Most High said, man, he says, see now that I, even I am he, and there's no God with me. Most High said, man, I'm up here, and there's no one with me. No other God. Go ahead.
I kill.
He what?
I kill.
He said, I kill.
And I make alive.
I make alive. So when there's deaths and when people come back to life, he say, I do that. No one else doesn't do it. Yeah, I may use these physicians' hands or whatever, or I may make machines malfunction, or he might put the spirit on people to do things. He say, I do these things. Go ahead.
I wound.
I wound.
And I heal.
And I heal. Go ahead.
neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand.
He say, man, when I have a set plan for you, and when I got it written in the book, he say, man, there's no one that can save you. Really, if I want to kill you, if I want to wound you, if I want to heal you, or make you alive again. He say, I do these things. There's no one here with me. He said, when I make that decision about you, it is made and it is written. So when it comes to our young brothers and sisters right here, it's sad and tragic. But according to the scriptures and my knowledge, man, the word had to be brought out because the word is spreading so much today, man. It's no one on this earth that's not going to be able to say, I never heard of that. This word is getting out there, man. And the Most High, he's punishing people how he see fit. You see that only Israel's getting punished. You don't see these other nations and no one else getting punished, man. This is Jacob's sin, you know what I'm saying, Israel, his children, you know what I'm saying. We are going through these curses. Now let me get Deuteronomy 28:45 real quick.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 45. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed.
So he said these curses will overtake us, pursue us, no matter where we go, until they destroy us physically and mentally. Go ahead.
Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Because we didn't listen. You see all this tragedy that just happened, that's because we don't listen. We don't listen. Go ahead.
To keep his commandments and his statutes.
To keep the commandments and statutes that he gave us. Back in Exodus, like I say, the heathens, they learned these commandments, and guess what? They used them against us. That's how they made us error. That's how they made us sin. They used these commandments against us. Go ahead.
Which he commanded thee.
Right.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
See, now we sitting back looking like, why is this stuff happening? All these young brothers and sisters died in 1 week, and it's all recorded on the news. Usually when we see stuff like that, you know, it ain't put out in the open, like the little brother and the sister, they killed each other where she killed him and killed herself in the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? That made it to the news. I'm pretty sure that happens wherever and whenever. But this stuff is being brought out. He said, you go wonder at these signs and wonder, like, what is going on, man? Like, what is going on with our people? Why are we going through this? Why are these young people dying? You know what I'm saying? The older generation is living longer than the younger generation. Go ahead.
And upon thy seed forever.
There you go right there. Upon thy seed forever. So these curses is going to the younger generation. The younger generation is getting out of hand. He's going to punish these kids because why? The parents ain't teaching them right. You know what I'm saying? So when you honor your father and mother and they being wicked and you being wicked, to punish them, they gonna punish the kids instead of punishing them. They gonna make them feel, most high gonna make them feel where it really hurt it. And you gotta be hurt through your family and nothing else. Go ahead.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart.
Because you didn't serve the God with joyful and gladness of heart. You turned your back on him. Like you said, you hated him for the commandments. Go ahead.
For the abundance of all things.
Right.
Therefore, shalt thou serve thine enemies.
He said you want to serve your enemies. Go ahead.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
Right.
And hunger.
And hunger. When we hungry, we got to go to their stores, their restaurants, whatever. We may have a little building or something, but who owns the establishment? You know what I'm saying? Don't pay your taxes on your restaurant, whatever. They're going to come shut you down. Go ahead.
And in thirst.
And thirst, when you want water or pay your your water bill, you gotta pay them just to have water to come through your house. Go ahead.
And in nakedness.
In nakedness, in clothing. We got to go to the other nations for everything, man, when it comes to clothes. We can't just make our own thing. If we do, we still got to go to a textile company, you know what I'm saying, which we don't own. That's the biggest part of clothes, is having the textile of making the fabric for the clothes. Go ahead.
And in wants of all things.
And the want of all things. That's your car, your house, your education, your certificate, schooling, whatever. You have to go to them for all things. Go ahead.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
And you're going to have that yoke of iron. We had it in slavery. Everybody seen Django. Everybody seen the 12 years a slave, how they walked around in chains. They make movies about us. This is true, man. This is a prophecy about how if we break the sins, what's going to happen. They got movies about us in chains. They got statues of us in chains. Go ahead.
Until he have destroyed thee.
Until he destroyed you. Like we say, physically and mentally, we are destroyed as a people. Go to the next verse.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far.
From afar. There's going to be a nation that come against you from afar. Go ahead.
From the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flies.
As swift as the eagle flies. Now, when we think of America and it comes to an animal, what does everybody look at? An eagle, a bald eagle that represents America. The Most High, man, he's showing you the signs that you are still in captivity today. I'm still dealing with you through chastisement. I'm going to chastise you until you wake up. Go ahead.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
You're not going to understand this tongue. You're not going to understand these people, because why? You're going to be speaking a whole nother dialect than them. You're going to be speaking Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? These people came with all type of language. And guess what? We speaking it now. We speak English. We speak Spanish. Spanish is an off language of Latin. You know what I'm saying? So we speak different languages today. Now let me get the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 6.
Let me get into that slavery video in a second.
So, you know what I'm saying? The Most High said, you're going to serve your enemies for these things. You're going to go through these things. Because why?
And the Apocrypha, the book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 6. Ye were sold to the nation.
You was what?
Ye were sold to the nation.
Go ahead.
Not for your destruction.
Not for our destruction. Because yes, these curses is going into destruction. But guess what? Go ahead.
But because ye moved God to wrath.
You moved God to wrath. We made him mad. We made him angry. Yes, God reacts to how we treat him. So we moved him to wrath. That's why we went into slavery. That's why we're going through things we're going through. He said, I'm not doing this to destroy y'all. I'm doing this to wake y'all up and realize, hey, I am y'all father. And you will do what I say, or what? You will be put to death. Go to the next verse.
Ye were delivered unto the enemy.
You were delivered to the enemy.
For ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils.
See, you provoked him because you sacrificing to devils. You sacrificing to how these people live instead of how he told us to live. You still following what? These devils. Instead of being a holy nation and a separate people of sinners, we want to follow devils. Like I see one of my brothers the other day, man. Oh Lord. When I see one of my brothers the other day, I love them to death, man. But we got to get our mind right, man. He had a grim tattooed on his whole side he just got. I love my little brother to death, man, but I can't believe my eyes when I seen that. You know what I'm saying? Our people run to death. We run to evil, man. And now that I'm in this truth, I see it more than ever, how we run to evil. Our people love evil, man, and it is just crazy. It's really crazy to me. I didn't realize that until I really woke up. But go to Deuteronomy 28:68. It's sad, man. I can't believe how much we really do love evil, and I didn't realize that until I came into this truth. You know what I'm saying? You didn't realize how much, you don't realize what evil really is until you step back and you get these commandments and you see everything else, man. There's a lot of evil out here, man, and our people, we run to it in so many ways, and it's sad, man, and it's mind-blowing now that I'm waking up. Go ahead.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
With ships. Egypt, like we read earlier, was bondage, slavery. He said, I'm going to bring you back into Egypt again with ships. Go ahead.
By the way whereof I speak unto thee.
He said, the way that I'm telling you, it's going to happen. Go ahead.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
You're not going to see your homeland no more. He said, you're not going to see this place again after you get taken away. Go ahead.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
What he say in Baruch? He said we were sold to our enemies for moving the wrath of God. So that's a deeper way of telling you, I'm not selling you to destroy you. I'm selling you to for you to wake up and not be chastised to be chastised to realize that you're in the middle of sin. He said that's why you are being sold to these other enemies. That's why you are being sold to these nations. Because guess what? You don't want to listen to me. You don't want to listen to the words that Moses speaks to you. You don't want to listen to how I told you to always keep my commandments and not follow the ways of the heathen. He said, you never listen to me. Go ahead.
For bondman,
for bond slave man,
and bondwoman,
and slave woman.
And no man shall buy you.
And no man is going to buy you. That means no man is going to save us for the things that we go through. No one's going to save us when it comes to all this oppression that is put on our backs. You know what I'm saying? He's sitting here telling you, only person that I'm going to bring that's going to save you is my son, the Black Messiah. You know what I'm saying? Let's get a quick look at one of these slavery videos real quick. So, because I want my brothers and sisters to feel this thing, man. Yes, y'all hear the scriptures, y'all hear the words, but like I say, my people are visual. We have to see these things to understand what we are going through as a people. Because if not, we'll never get it. We won't understand. We're going to start from there. We're going to stop it at 2 minutes. So, man, we won't be saved unless we repent, come back to the Most High God, and understand what's going on.
From about 1525 to 1866, 12.5 million Africans were taken from their homeland and forcibly transported across the Atlantic, a journey that approximately 2 million of them would not survive. By the turn of the 18th century, European merchants were building vessels capable of transporting hundreds of enslaved people per journey. These ships had extra portholes for ventilation, weapons mounted on deck in case of rebellion, and additional compartments added below deck to take on more human cargo. Before boarding the ships at African port cities, enslaved people were stripped of their clothing and remaining possessions, and had their heads forcibly shaved. During boarding, which could take weeks or even months.
You see that? Go back to where it said the shave, and you see how it showed the woman. You see, that's what most of our sisters get that from today. You know, when you look at them old slave movies too, they had most of our women in them short haircuts. Because why? That's the reason why. They shaved our heads. They shaved the beards off the men's face. You know what I'm saying? They had us looking out of our culture. You know what I'm saying? They were trying to make us not as beautiful as the Most High wanted us to be. They was defiling us as much as possible as they could. And that's where a lot of our sisters get their short haircut from. Because we were used to getting that thing shaved off back in the day. Go ahead.
We shaved during boarding, which could take weeks or even months. Enslaved people lived on the deck of the ship in a temporary wooden house constructed by the crew. The crew also installed netting around the deck of the ship, designed to catch those enslaved who might opt for death over forced servitude. Once moved below deck, enslaved people would find themselves stuffed into compartments with ceilings as low as 4.5 feet, where they would spend most of their voyage. They were segregated by gender and age. Adult men were kept separately and shackled in pairs. Women usually left unchained in their designated compartment, and children often free to move about the ship. There were no sanitary facilities of any kind. Enslaved people were forced to relieve themselves where they sat.
You see how packed we are, man. We face to face, head to head, laying with each other. And like they say, man, they stripped us of our clothes, so everybody really was butt naked. And you had to use the bathroom wherever you was at. So imagine you got these brothers and sisters sitting above you. They using the bathroom, man. It's getting in your hair, your skin. And this is months and a year to get to the destination. You know what I'm saying? Because they on old boats. They don't have motors. They using the wind to travel. So, man, it's taking forever to get to your destination, man. You can have a dirty pillow today and get the pink eye. Imagine what they get and what they going through all this stuff, man. This is crazy. Go ahead.
Creating hellish conditions when combined with the heat and lack of ventilation below deck. Disease was rampant. Dysentery, malaria, yellow fever, smallpox, measles, and influenza ravaged the enslaved and crew members alike.
Hey, pause that and go back. So these diseases was popping up on us. Get Deuteronomy 28 and 64 real quick. Why it's right there. Oh, it ain't 64, what is it? 61. Yeah, give me 61.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 61.
Uh-huh.
And also, every sicknesses and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed.
He said the sicknesses that are not written in this book of law, because the Bible is the book of laws, the book of commandments. He say, will he bring upon you and destroy you. Now we see the diseases that we was catching on the boats. Now that we here in the United States and we still living, going on with life, we got different sicknesses and diseases that's attacking us now. Most diseases that most of our people go through is STDs. They got the COVID now that's trying to attack most of the black folks. Now our black people, our brothers and sisters, we go through diabetes, gout. We're going through this crazy stuff because we eating wrong and we going from woman to woman and man to man instead of sleeping with one spouse. You know what I'm saying? So now we're catching all these diseases and crazy things because why we're not following the commandments. Go ahead.
The enslaved and crew members alike. The enslaved people generally spent about 8 hours a day above deck, but were still separated by gender, with a barricado, a reinforced wall that could be used to protect crew members in case of a revolt. Enslaved people were also subject to forced exercise, which sometimes included dance and song for the entertainment of the crew.
Well, I can't even think of that scripture. What's that scripture when he said, sing me a song of Zion? Hold on, give me 1 second. But see, man, you can see it right here. I'm done with that video, bro. You can see right here how they used to treat us, man. How sad it is. how sad it was how they used to you said what is it?
Psalms 137.
Yeah, give me that. Psalms 137 verse 3. So like he say, in the day, they used to make us dance, whip us, sing songs. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff is biblical and scriptural, man. We can prove it all day with the Bible. We showing you how the Most High did these things to chastise us to remember that we have to keep these commandments. We have to do what he say and not follow the ways of the heathen. That's why we in sin. That's why we in error in life right now.
The book of Psalms, chapter 137 and verse 3. For there they that carried us away captive require of us a song. And they that wasted us require of us merit, saying, sing us one of the song of Zion.
And what did they do on that boat? When we was up there working up top, doing all that, they whipping us and hitting us. Sing us a song of Zion. Sing us one of the lovely songs I had over there in Jerusalem. That's what they were telling us to do on the top of that ship. And they just recorded right there. He said they told us to sing a song of Zion. Sing them songs that you had in Jerusalem. Make us feel good. Even though we up here chastising and whooping your tail and doing whatever. Is that it on there?
Yeah.
Alright, now we'll go to 1 Maccabees chapter 1, verse 41. So man, we just sitting here proving how history lines up what we going through and how everything is. You know what I'm saying? How we left the Most High God and wanted to be like the other nations. And still is today. You know what I'm saying? I told so many people that today's the Passover, what they should be doing for the Passover. But you know what, man? These people want to leave out. They still want to go party. They want to eat the shrimp, the lobster. They still defile on the Sabbath day of buying on it. They don't care for the Passover, man. They don't care to keep the laws, statutes, commandments of God. They don't care for these things. Let me get chapter 1, verse 41.
And the Apocrypha, the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom.
So this is a king that was over most of the kingdoms at the time. Go ahead.
That all should be one.
Because we one people. This is the land where we can be all free. Go ahead.
And everyone should leave his laws.
But to be here, you know what I'm saying, everyone should leave their laws because what? America is great. But you know, according to America, to certain laws, everybody can have their own religious belief and can speak on it according to one of the what is it called? Amendment. Yeah, one of the amendments. Go ahead.
So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king.
So the heathens that want to be part of the king, they agree to it. They're like, we don't care. You know what I'm saying? We do whatever you say, as long as we can live good here. Because guess what? Where they from, it's not as good as it is how the king is jumping. Go ahead.
Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion.
Many of the who?
Israelite consented to his religion.
So the Israelites consented. They leaned to what the king believed in instead of the commandments or what the commandments say. So they say, you know what? We'll leave our laws. We'll leave what the Most High told us to do to be with this king. So when we came to America, we got punished and pushed into believing this Christianity doctrine of white Jesus. Because white Jesus came from the Renaissance area when the Renaissance was taking over the world, bringing a cross to everybody and saying, hey, if you don't believe in this white Jesus, it's either get down or lay down. And most of the time, they went to war with the whole world over white Jesus. And they brought it to our Native American and Hispanic brothers over here. And when they brought us over, that's all they would teach us, white Jesus, white Jesus. So we had to leave what? The black Messiah, knowing that he was our Savior, and to believe on their Savior. Go ahead.
and sacrifice unto idols, and profane the Sabbath.
And profane the Sabbath. They profaning the Sabbath. That means what? They doing the selling, the buying. We out here doing stuff we don't need to be doing. That was one of the most high holy days that we have every week that we should be what? Resting. Like I said, we in captivity. So if you gotta work because why? You got a family to feed, you got things to do, and plus, most of all, you will get fired. Because guess what? Most jobs don't care about the Sabbath day. They don't care about you trying to keep God's law. It's either come work on this plantation or get lost. Go ahead.
For the king had sent letters by messenger unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land.
They should follow the what?
The strange laws of the land.
These laws are strange according to the Israelites. This stuff is strange. We don't know what this stuff is because why? We had the laws, statutes, and commandments. This stuff is strange unto us. We didn't get it. We was like, man, what is this stuff? But we ain't had no choice. Because why? We captive. We was captive into these people. Now let me get 2 Maccabees chapter 4, verse 15. Because we captive to these people, man. So now what? We got to take on these strange doctrines. We got to take on their strange ways. Now they pushing their women on us. When our brothers and sisters got, they get a little money, the cars, clothes from the rap, sports, whatever. Now behind doors, they sending strange women to us. Like, hey, go over and get that brother to marry. You know what I'm saying? Instead of these sportsmen or rappers, whatever, instead of marrying a black woman and bringing back strong black couples and everything like that, they mixing up the marriages. And let that brother or sister get in trouble. Watch that other strange couple take everything they got.
And still in the Apocrypha, the book 2 Maccabees, chapter 4 and verse 15. Not sinning by the honors of their fathers, but liking the glory of the Grecian best of all.
So instead of honoring our fathers that did keep this law, statutes, commandments, knowing that that is the way of our nation in life, like we now waking up to we Israel, for the brothers and sisters in this land, for the brothers and sisters that understand they Israel because they understand the scriptures, hearing that we kept the commandments, they like, that sounds good, and I do see how I am an Israelite. I can see that. I do see it. But what they do? But liking what?
But liking the glory of the Grecians best of all.
I know I'm an Israelite, and I understand it. But I'm telling you, dog, I love America, man. I love the way we live it, man.
I'll come around, they get excited. Excuse me, Mr. White Man, thank you for bringing us here. We love you. Yay, the white man. As soon as they see us, they get an attitude. Hey, how you doing? This nigga.
I'm telling you, I like eating this food. I like going to that restaurant, man. Have you ever seen them lobster tails, man, that butter dripping off of it? They love the life of the Grecians. Instead of following what the Most High say, man, they love the way of America. You understand that we spoke Hebrew. We all God's greatest people. That if we come back together, keep His commandments, man, this is all over with. We back on top. We back on above everybody on the face of the earth. But instead of that, we love the way of the Grecians. Continue.
By reason whereof sore calamity came upon them. For they had them to be their enemies and avengers, whose custom they follow so earnestly.
So he said, their enemies, a calamity came above us. You know what I'm saying? Following the enemies and the avengers, whose custom we follow earnestly. That means we wanted that thing. We didn't just be like, we might do that. No, we want to do that. That's what we want to do. You know what I'm saying? We earnestly wanted to do it. Go ahead.
And unto whom they desired to be like in all things.
They said we wanted to be like them in all things. Not just one or two things, but we wanted to be like it in all things. Anything they got going on, we want to be part of it. That's what the nation of Israel is like. That's how we are, man. And it's sad. Now that we waking up, we trying to tell our brothers and sisters, repent, man. That's not who we are. They don't care. They want to be like the Grecians. Even though they understand, they can hear how we the Israelites, and this match up with history, how the Hispanics and the Native Americans are brothers and sisters. They're like, man, yeah, it makes sense, and I get it. But I still want to wear my pants. I don't want to marry no woman, man. I want to do what I want to do right here. I want to work on a Saturday to get more overtime. The money triple on Saturdays. I got to get that. You know what I'm saying? That, man, our people want to be like the Grecians so bad. Now give me Isaiah chapter 1 verse 3. Because our people are destroyed, man. We destroyed. And like I say, evil comes in so many ways that you won't recognize it until you come into this truth, man. You won't recognize what evil really is until you come into this truth. I remember I thought when I was in the world, what was evil to me was scary movies. What I seen in a scary movie, that was evil. I thought evil was just demonic, what is it called when they overtaking, exorcism, stuff like that. I'm thinking that's evil. But what's really evil is anything outside of God's commandments. You know what I'm saying? That's evil. Thinking wrong of my brother, thinking wrong of my sister. Don't care about the dietary law. Go eat how I want to eat, man. My mindset, that is evil. That's evil thinking. That's what is evil. Go ahead.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 1 and verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib.
Right.
But Israel,
but who?
But Israel,
right,
does not know. My people do not consider.
So he's speaking of animals at the beginning. An ox, an ass, which is a donkey. They know who feed them. They know who take care of them. They can walk off, wander around, even like a cat. You get a cat, you feed that cat go off, walk around, go through the whole block and whatever else. But they know where their house is. They know who their owner is. They're going to go back to who feeds them, who do whatever for them to survive. But Israel, repeat it.
But Israel does not know.
Right.
My people does not consider.
We don't care. When Israel get woken up here, we from Jerusalem, how we dress, how we was walking, we like, okay, I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? Then we were like, okay, brother, now you figured out, man, it's time to keep these commandments, man. It's time to stand up, be strong with us, come out here, do this and that. Or sister, yeah, man, you need to be in a skirt or a dress because these brothers don't want nothing from you, man. They just using you. You know what I'm saying? They be like, I don't care though. Yeah, I understand I'm Israel, but I don't care because guess what? This is our life now. That was life back then. That's evil, man. That you don't care for nothing. You don't care about your nation. Because the more you do stuff like that, you bringing the brothers and sisters down around you. That's all you're doing. Go ahead.
Verse 4. A sinful nation.
Right.
A people laden with iniquity.
We filled with sin. We is the most sinful nation on earth. We love sin, man. It's just like steak and butter. That's how much we love it. Go ahead.
A seed of evildoers.
We are a seed of evildoers. We wake up, man, can't ready. Back in the day, we couldn't wake up just to smoke that blunt, man. That was the first thing Negroes did. Wake up, hit the blunt, sit there, look at the TV or space, and be like, thinking about what he about to do, who he about to hit up. We wake up, man, just thinking of evil. Just go ahead.
Children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord.
We are corruptors, man. It's easy to corrupt Israel. I'm telling you, because we like to have fun. We like to be happy and all that. So all you got to do is hype us up to do something and corrupt us easily. Go ahead.
They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger.
Like it said in Baruch, we have provoked the Most High God. We provoked him. We pushing him to put us in chastisement. We pushing him to put these evil things on us because we not listening. Go ahead.
They are gone away backwards.
We falling backwards. Instead of moving forward, we want to move backwards. It's okay to stumble and get picked back up, but just to fall complete backwards, man, it's all out of order, man. It's all out of order. So how are we falling backwards? Give me Hosea 4:2. Because we falling backwards out here, man. And you know what I'm saying? And it's okay to slip and fall, but repent and fight as hard as you can to not do it again. It's hard, man, but that's enduring to the end. You know what I'm saying? We got to endure to the end. That's the best way to get what I want to say. What is saying, Peters? That's the best way to make your election assured. You know what I'm saying? You got that, Hosea?
The book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 2. By swearing.
Now this is how we falling backwards. By what?
By swearing.
By swearing.
And lying.
And lying.
And killing.
Killing.
And stealing.
And stealing. Now if you're not realizing, this is the 10 commandments that we read at the beginning of Exodus chapter 20 verse 2. 2 and on down to 17. This is the 10 commandments right here in this little scripture. We broke everything in this little scripture right here. Go ahead.
And committing adultery.
Committing adultery.
They bring out. And blood touches blood.
Blood touches blood. We out here killing each other and slaughtering each other, man. And as we doing these things, we looking like, who gonna help us? Who gonna save us? We thinking of everything physically, man, knowing this is a spiritual battle. The Most High is looking at us like, spiritually, you got to open your eyes and wake up that, man, I got a curse on you. That's a curse is a spiritual energy thing, man. And it's getting physical because why? It's taking action. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, y'all got to wake up. But we don't do that. We looking at everything physically and not spiritually. So you know what happens when we do that, looking at things physically and not spiritually? Give me Lamentations 4 and 17. Because, man, this is a spiritual walk. This is not a physical walk. It's a physical walk, but it's a spiritual walk. We have to see. And once you see it spiritually, physically, everything changes for you as you walk in this truth. So we have to tighten up, and we have to get right. We have to come back to these commandments. Because if you don't, you're going to always be wondering, what's going on in my life, man? Why I can't get right here? Why I can't tighten up right here? You know what I'm saying? We work all these hours, man, and it seems like it's still not going nowhere in life. You know what I'm saying? So, the Most High telling you, I'm doing this stuff to humble you and to keep you in line to not going into more sin than what you already have to go into right now. You know what I'm saying? He's doing this so we can save our own souls, man. We have to prove ourselves to the Most High. Yeah, I'm looking. It's hitting mine too. I'm gonna have to go to the witch collar. So that's why he's sitting there doing these things so we can wake up and realize that, man, we are cursed. We are being led astray through these heathen ways. You know what I'm saying? They got us hooked, man, on all this evil they got set up for us. They got us hooked. And now we hear the brothers and sisters out here on the street, and we hear them, and we understand. But guess what? We still want to live like the Grecians. We still want to live like the Egyptians. We still want to live like the Moab, Chinese people. We want to live like the Arabians, especially my brothers them in the prison. They want to be Arabians so bad. Speaking Muslim. any other custom they got going on, man. They want to be Muslim so bad. Which the brothers only do that is to get away from Christianity. Because Christianity is not the way. You know what I'm saying? When people think about this Bible, man, they think about white Jesus. They think about what they've been taught in church, because, you know, most black people was forced to go. You know what I'm saying? You got that, brother?
Yeah.
All right, let me get Lamentations 4 and 17. So this is going into the physical aspect of what our people is going through, because we've been swearing, lying, killing, stealing, adultery, and blood touches blood. So when we see these things going through it, like the brothers we showed with the young kids and everything, we're like, oh man, what's going on? All this stuff is happening to our people. You know what I'm saying? Instead of looking at it spiritually, we're looking at it physically. So this is what we do when we look at that. Lamentations 4 and 17.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 17. As for us,
right,
our eyes as yet fail for our vain help.
So we looking for help. As we seeing these brothers and sisters go through this, even ourselves as a nation, we looking for help, man. We looking around like, who gonna help us? How can we be helped? We always taking a loss. Go ahead.
In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
Now we're looking at the presidents, we're looking at the governors, we're looking at the mayors. We like, who's going to help us in these cities? Who is going to help us on these streets? Who is going to keep our young ones from dying? Who is going to help these people that need help out here that are homeless to get off the streets and off these drugs? No one is going to do it. We looking at this stuff for vain help. We looking at stuff that was already set up for our destruction for not following the commandments. Go ahead.
They hunt our steps.
They hunt our steps. They is going into the enemies. The enemies the Most High God sent against us. Go ahead.
That we cannot go in our streets.
We can't even go outside without getting killed, man. We can't go outside without humiliating ourselves with nothing, being made fun of anything. Will Smith smacked Chris Rock, man. There's so many memes and all stuff, type of stuff going, man. We can't go outside for nothing. Go ahead.
Our end is near.
Our end is near of how we are being punished, man. This chastisement is coming on us hard. Go ahead.
Our days are fulfilled.
Our days are being fulfilled because why? These scriptures is coming alive. Everybody is seeing and seeing what the prophets are saying. They understand, they see what's going on, but you know what? They still in the back of their head, they're like, ah, man, I don't know, man. Everything is right that you're saying, but they still want to do what they want to do instead of doing what the Most High told them to do. Go ahead.
For our end is come.
For our end is come. You know what I'm saying? Because all this stuff is about the end. The more it get turned up, the end is coming with that turn up. Read 19.
Verse 19. Our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heavens.
So the persecutors, he said, our persecutors. That means that's the people that are doing the action towards another people. These people are persecuting us, and they swifter than an eagle, as the Most High said he was going to send us in slavery. He said the nation should be swifter than an eagle. These are the signs that's letting you know the people that live among you are your enemies. They are your persecutors. Go ahead.
They pursue us upon the mountain.
Right, they chase us. Go ahead.
They lay wait for us in the wilderness.
And they lay wait in these corners, in these buildings, in these jobs. They trying to set us up for failure. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much they smile in your face and you want the help, they set you up for failure. And you know what I'm saying? I'm going to end it off right there. And with that being said, Israel, this is Israel, the children of Jacob, sin. Next week, we're going to see how can we repent, how we come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments, and fix the things that we're going through as a nation. Because right now, we got a longing for each other. If you righteous in heart or whatever, You know what I'm saying? And we want to see each other come back to the law, statutes, commandments with the black Messiah and Most High God. With that, I say shalom.
Talking little changes for the Most High. What you gonna do? Repent. I'm talking big changes. Talking little changes for the Most High. What you gonna do? Repent. What you gonna do? Repent. What you gonna do? Repent. For the kingdom and the glory. What you gonna do? Repent. What you gonna do? Repent. What you gonna do? Repent. For the Most High. What you gonna do? Acts 3:19. Repent ye therefore and be converted. 2nd Ezra 10:33. Stand up manfully and I will advise thee. Psalm 78:5. For I established a testimony of Jacob and appointed law in Israel. I had to change my life from the garbage. Looking in the mirror, knew myself hardly. To keep it real, I don't know where to start it. Christ coached me up, now I'm ballin'. Spiritually, I'm not falling. Lord, keep around these prophets. These signs I see, I can't dodge them. That road to wicked, that's no profit. Eternal life, the only option. Repent or die, he ain't asking. And I ain't trying to get smoked like ashes. Big poof, your body just feel like magic. You don't hearken, that's tragic. Your judgment about to be a classic. Straight brimstone, max on fire. I feel like Jeremiah with all his fire. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? For the Most High. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? For the kingdom and the glory. What you gonna do? Examine myself, 2 Corinthians. From Christ's foundation, I'm building it. Again, and I'm repeating it. And again, and I'm seeking it. Cut the sin off, ain't no keeping it. 2 Thessalonians, see why you believe it. Strong